Good morning, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Guerrilla Cricket South Africa on the 1WSR.com platform, One World Sports Radio. And I'm here joined by Ravi, live from Mumbai, and
Hello.
from somewhere in Johannesburg. Am I correct?
Cape Town.
Cape Town. There we
Yeah.
go. Okay, Cape Town. Sorry, and I'm here in Pretoria, in South Africa, and we are almost ready to start play in Karachi, in Pakistan, where South Africa are touring Pakistan. And this will be the first session of the third day, with Pakistan well on top and their feet on throat, their hands around the necks of the South Africans. They are in total control of this game.
I wouldn't quite say that, but yes, you probably got it right. I think South Africa made some bad batting decisions on day one and made some bad bowling decisions on day two. And as a result, the Pakistanis, particularly Fawad Alam, took advantage of it. So they are probably in control. I'm not sure it's foot on the throat yet. South Africa's got to have hope. But yeah.
What do you think, Tim?
I tend to agree with Ravi. If we can get both wickets out within the next 10 minutes or so, there's still a chance for us to win this test, but we need to get them out quickly. Pakistan are on top, there's no doubt about that, but all three results are still possible.
Yeah. Also,
Yes.
we should take heart from the fact that in the last England-Sri Lanka test, England gave away a first innings deficit and won. In the last Australia-India test, India gave away a first innings deficit and still won.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yes, okay, that's true. There is still a way for South Africa to win, but I think Pakistan will be really upset if they lose from this position. Let's put it that way.
True.
So we're ready to start here with Nortje. He's coming over the wicket to Hassan Ali, who plays a back foot drive type of cut shot down to third man, and they will take 2 runs. They started this morning on 308 for 8, Pakistan with a lead of 88, and that is now a lead of exactly 90, 310 for 8. Hassan Ali is on 13 of 25, and Nauman Ali is on 6 of 20. And so the Zuckers need to take 2 quick wickets here to give themselves a chance to get in front. There's still enough time left in the match, that's for sure. Nortje in again, and this time Hassan Ali plays a squarer drive. This one goes to extra cover, and they take another 2 runs. And 312 for 8 is the score now. So a bit wide outside of stump there by Nortje.
That is a strange shot that is recently invented, isn't it? The cut drive, as it were, where you don't know whether it's a cut or a drive.
Yeah, it looks like a cut shot, but the ball goes to extra cover. So
maybe they're just cutting it harder today with the new bats that they have.
Yes. Nortje has 2 wickets for 88 runs, third ball of his over.
Yeah. Nortje really needs to get his line right, because he's not getting any movement. So that right line and length, he can get hit.
Yeah, there's the ball is now already 28 overs old. It's in its 28th over now. Nortje comes in again from the University Road end, outside off stump, and again that back foot drive. It looks like a cut shot. This one might go all the way to the boundary. Yes, it does. 4 runs to Hassan Ali and Pakistan. 316 for 8. Hassan Ali on 19 of 28.
Well, that was more of a drive.
We saw the final of the Pakistan 4-day competition, how Hassan Ali took the attack to the bowlers when he was batting. So he's doing a similar thing here, trying to get as many runs as possible, rather than occupy the crease, which I think is the right option.
Yes, and in a way, it also counts in South Africa's favor because it moves the game along quicker. It doesn't
Yes.
take time out of the game. This one on off stump by Nortje, no run back to the bowler. 316 for 8.
Yeah, it's true. It's good for both teams in many ways. That Hassan Ali is looking to be proactive.
So today will be a real moving day. The bat can go really strongly in either direction for either team today. Hassan Ali faces now, and this one hits him on the arm. He tried to duck underneath the short one, but it didn't get up as much as he thought. And he's worn that on the arm. He's taking his glove off. I'm not sure exactly where it hit him, but it looks like it might have been on in the forearm, somewhere between the arm guard and the glove. We'll see now, because he's sort of, I think it struck him on the elbow from that angle.
Yeah. Well, that shows the benefit of Nortje. When he bowls short, he can get the batsman, particularly a tail ender, discomforted. And that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
Hassan Ali's, it looks like the impact was just in front of his arm guard, behind his wrist, behind the glove, on his forearm. That's where he's rubbing his arm. He's now gingerly inserting his hand back into his glove. Rabada will be opening the bowling this morning from the other end. He is coming in now. He will be coming over the wicket to the left-handed. Salman Ali gets an outside edge past the diving second slip down to third man for 4. So 320 for 8 is the score now. And that one was nowhere near the slip, but it was a thick enough edge to go down to third man.
Yeah.
There
was no chance for Faf du Plessis to catch that. Yeah.
If they had a second slip, that would have been a different story. But I wouldn't expect them to have a second slip. Perhaps that, or as I say, that's they're about to put one in.
Chasing the ball a bit, but
chasing the ball there.
It is a tail ender. It's a number 9 or number 10, Nauman Ali. This time he looked like he guided that one down to third man, where it's fielded now, and the ball didn't reach the boundary. This time they take a single. Hassan Ali will now face. The lead is now gone past 100. 101 runs is the lead, 21 for 8. Hassan Ali on 19. And as we see a replay, that hit Hassan Ali on the left hand. So the front facing hand for the right-handed batsman, between his arm guard and his glove, just on the top of his arm. Rabada in again to Hassan Ali, fishes at that, angling out the bat there, and it goes through to the keeper for no run, misses everything. Hassan Ali is on 19 of 30, Nauman Ali on 11 of 22.
I think the South Africans need to mix up short bowls with absolutely on the stump balls. These are tail enders. You don't want to be bowling outside off stump the way Nortje was. It was the short ball that got him in discomfort.
Hassan Ali attacking Rabada with a nice booming drive out to cover, and they take 2 runs, I think. Just make sure of that now. As we see some replays of the Pakistan batsmen wearing a few deliveries from the South African quicks.
Particularly from Rabada.
Yes, he's also been quite dangerous, and we saw Fahim Ashraf having a concussion test yesterday. Rabada in again to Hassan Ali, who plays this on, I think, and he's bowled. The middle stump is lying on the ground. 323 for 9 now is the score. Hassan Ali is out for 21 of 33, and Rabada has got half a smile on his face. He's relieved rather than happy about the wicket.
He's got 200 test wickets. He's the eighth South African to do that.
Yes, of course.
So that's a big milestone for Kiki Rabada. He's been waiting all day yesterday to finally get that 200th wicket, and he finally gets it in the third over of the day.
And only his 44th test, I understand?
I think that's right.
Just excuse me 1 second. I'll be right back before the. Give me literally 5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, 44 tests for Rabada. Interestingly, Yasir Shah, who's going to come and face him, has also got 44 test matches. Rabada's average is 22.88, which is absolutely remarkable. But
I think Rabada was the 13th bowler to get that milestone overall.
Yes, well
That's a
done,
good,
Dr. Rabada.
yeah, well, Yasir Shah is in. The last
Yes, the number 11 for Pakistan.
Otto,
So one more wicket to get.
Otto,
Yes, sir.
Otto, before the ball's bowled, it sounds like there's a washing machine with your commentary. You commentate, but at the same time, it doesn't sound very clear at the moment.
Yes, unfortunately, there is a tropical cyclone which has now turned into a tropical low pressure system that's bringing a lot of rain here to Victoria. So if the rain on the roof is causing a problem, I'll drop out. So Yasir Shah is going to take strike. Final ball from Kagiso Rabada. I'll just mute it when I'm not talking. Got my finger on the mute button here. He's got this one outside off stump into the covers, and they take no run.
Even the studio doesn't want to see you, Otto. They're suggesting that you turn off your camera. Why?
Okay,
I think
yes, I'll try that.
Figure of a man. I think Otto's a fine figure of a man. I don't see why anyone would not want to see his face.
We'll switch off my camera happily. 109 overs gone. 323 for 9 is the score. Nauman Ali will face Nortje.
Ah. That's an interesting stat that's coming up on screen.
Hassan Ali was in fact bowled by Kagiso Rabada. He didn't play on. Not sure if we got that information through. Yes, he was clean bowled by Rabada, middle stump out of the ground. 200 wickets for Rabada. Good start.
How unusual is that? Pakistan's number 11 has a test match 100.
Yes, Yasir Shah is a decent enough tail ender. This one is into Nauman Ali by Nortje around the wicket. He just brings this out to the covers from the run.
Who were the poor people who suffered Yasir Shah's century?
Oh, probably. Yes, I'm sure I watched that match. I've seen him make big runs. I've seen him make a lot of runs. I can't remember who it was. England, I think. Let's find out. Let's ask the Twitterverse. Nortje to Nauman Ali. This one hits a bottom edge, dribbles along the ground, underneath diving Faf du Plessis at first slip, and through to the boundary for 4. Nauman Ali has got a smile on his face. Right, he's so lucky for him. Q-tipped it, I think, into the ground past first slip.
Nortje not bowling in a disciplined way.
He's usually struggling a bit with his accuracy, despite his speed. So Nortje comes in again to Nauman Ali round the wicket. This time he plays it off his leg stump line, off his hips, and it is fielded by Ngidi at fine leg, and they'll take 2 runs. So we see Nauman Ali's first class career here. It is his test debut. He's got a few 50s to his name and an average of 19. So also a decent tail ender, not too bad.
Yasser Shah's test 100 was against Australia.
Was
Oh,
against
nice.
Australia.
Well
Yep.
done.
Wow.
I like him even more now. Okay. 329 for 9 is the score. Lead by 109. And Nortje is coming into Nauman Ali around the wicket to the left-hander. This one on off stump and just defended out to point, no run.
Nortje's brought his, he's got his range perhaps now. Instead of spraying it outside off and outside leg, down leg, he's actually aiming at middle and off. And Nauman Ali doesn't like that.
I like that line a lot better. Get the batsman playing, force the batsman to defend stumps. You miss, I hit, that type of thing. He comes in again around the wicket on the leg stump line, and I think that came pad looped a little bit through the air to mid wicket, and there's no run.
Yasser Shah's Test match 100 was in Australia in the day night Test match 2019 at Adelaide.
Wow.
Not only is it against Australia,
Okay.
but it's in Australian conditions.
What position was he was he batting that day? Can you see that you're looking at the scorecard, I assume?
I'm not looking at the scorecard. I'm looking at articles that said
Okay.
that. But I'm not looking at
This
the
one by
actual.
Nortje is on off stump again, no run. Sorry, Easton.
Yeah.
Okay, 110 overs gone, 329 for 9. One more wicket to get from South Africa. Can Rabada do it? He managed to get an edge that flew past slip, and then he managed to bowl out Hassan Ali. So he's going to be bowling now to Yasir Shah. And Pakistan will hope that he can repeat his Adelaide heroics. And South Africa got 3 slips in, so they're hoping that Rabada gets his edge. But the ball is on middle and leg stump, and it's just flicked off his pad down to fine leg. And they'll take a single. South Africa have no reviews remaining.
That's
they
the
wasted
thing.
a few yesterday. 329 for 9, lead is 110. Nauman Ali now facing Rabada. Yasir Shah managed the single there off his legs with 3 slips. That's not the line to bowl by Rabada, but maybe he was going for the stumps there. Rabada's got 3 for 53, and this is the second ball of his 25th over. The run rate now exactly 3. As Yasir Shah is struck on the pads, but this one might have pitched outside leg. Big appeal, umpire says no, and South Africa can do nothing about it.
Yasser Shah was batting at number 8 for that Test match 100, which was a bit more fair of his batting abilities than number 11.
Yes. Well, outside leg stump, that delivery, and Yasir Shah did play a shot, so Nauman Ali, was facing that ball. He's a left-hander, and Rabada came over the wicket to him, so that pitched outside leg.
Yasir Shah couldn't have been batting at 11 when he scored a century, because we know the record for a number 11 is still Ashton Agar's 98 against England.
That's true. Very true.
That's true, yes. Nauman Ali blocks this Yorker on middle out to the covers run. 303 for 9 is the score. So, with a 100+ lead at home, Pakistan have played 38 times, won 28 of them. Nauman Ali defends this ball on his off-stump line. Rabada coming across him, out to cover, and there's no run. Rabada coming over the wicket to the left-hander.
Yeah, why is he bowling over the wicket? Is he just not want to change his line once the run was taken, or what?
Yeah, it's difficult to say, because they had, for the second delivery, the first delivery to Nauman Ali, they had a leg slip in as well. So why would you have a leg slip if you're over the wicket to a left-hander? And he's over the wicket again to the left-hander. This one goes through to the keeper for no run. A flash by Nauman Ali. Hit nothing. No appeal. 15 off 31 is Nauman Ali. 330 for 9. One ball to come.
Quinton throughout this innings has been a little bit chasing the ball. They've been every time there's been an edge through a vacant slip field area, he's then put in a slip fielder. When there was ball winning the leg side.
This one by Rabada was a no ball for height. Nauman Ali managed to play the full toss off his chest out to cover for no run, but that's a no ball. And the ball no doubt slipped out of Rabada's hands, and also signaling there to the batsman that Rabada won't be allowed to do that again. So you see the replay here.
It's
something, I'm not sure what exactly, but there must be something that they're talking about. I think that might have been the edge through that went past the second step there. Nauman Ali, the ball pitching full outside leg stump, and he manages to flick it out to find leg for a 2. And 332 for 9 is the score. 333 for 9 is the score, excuse me. Now Nauman Ali now on 17 of 34. Yasir Shah on 1 of 2.
So they've managed 25 runs today already for 1 wicket, which is very good for the tail end.
In 22 minutes.
Yes, valuable runs. Extremely valuable runs here for Pakistan. The lead now 113.
Have we got any early tweets, Ravi?
No, we haven't yet. I've been checking, but we don't seem to have any. We finally got them both saying, we got KG 200. Congratulations, Kagiso Rabada. May you go get many more wickets. Thank you for being such an inspiration to many. That's your friendly sports guy.
I second that.
Yeah, concur. That and he certainly won't go anymore.
The problem is, when you've got a good bowler like KG bowling, you'll notice it not just in the attack and the wickets he takes, but also in his economy rate. And it's just a pity that Nortje is leaking runs at the other end, because it doesn't keep any pressure on.
And he's still leaking runs. He bowls to Yasir Shah. The ball pitches on leg stump, and Yasir Shah just helps it further along on its way down to fire leg. Well, no, it pitched on off stump, but the line was going way down leg stump. Quinton de Kock dives to his left and couldn't stop the ball from going to the boundary for 4. So Yasir Shah moves on to 5. And I've got a little bit of an interruption here in my feed.
Right.
So apologies for that, Tim. If you can tell us what the second ball of Nortje's over is doing.
The next ball is another short ball, which Yasir Shah just flicks off his hip, and he's able to go through for a quick single. Or not a really quick one, but a single nonetheless. 339 for 9.
Oh dear. Yeah, exactly what you said, Ravi. It's not helping Rabada, not helping South Africa that Nortje is not putting pressure on.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say, wickets ball. Fuller ball from Nortje, and Yasir Shah blocks it on the offside, no run. Nortje's role is the enforcer. So the enforcer by nature is going to go for more runs than the other sort of bowlers. So that's by his nature.
Maybe.
I also think that the tactically the decision has been that they want him to bowl that extra fuller length rather than he wants to bowl it, which I don't agree with, but I think that's been a tactic, a deliberate tactic.
It may be, but it's a useless tactic right now.
Yeah, but that's not Nortje's fault. Nortje can't go to Quinton and go, no, I'm not doing that, sorry, not happening.
That's true.
Well, no, but
if
the point is,
if that's the tactic that was decided on, then he's got to follow instructions.
and
Maybe.
more importantly, if he's being asked to bowl full, then he's not bowling as an enforcer. He's bowling as an actual seam bowler, whose abilities should now show through. He should be able to move the ball in some direction. He's not
Except
able
he
to.
doesn't. Except he doesn't. That's a fault of South African tactics rather than a fault of Nokia, in my opinion. We missed just to follow up on the two balls there. The first one was a short ball again, which Yasir Shah was able to pull down to the leg side, was able to come through for two. And the next one is a fuller length, which was able to hit on the offside and come through for a single. Pakistan are 342 for 9.
Yes, and I'm about to see the last ball of Nokia's over. So my feed is back online. Nauman Ali on 17 off 34. Nokia round the wicket to him. And this one struck him on the pads. A big appeal, ball balloons up in the air, but Alim Dar says no. 342 for 9. No reviews for South Africa. Nokia has conceded 105 runs from 27 overs and taken 2 wickets. That's the end of the 112th over.
Right. What was I going to say?
You were going to say that Nokia is rubbish and should be taken off.
Not Nokia is rubbish. Let's not say that. But let's ask why, or rather, let's ask why South Africa's think tank has decided that Nokia should be bowling. I mean, this is all speculation. We don't know if he's been asked to bowl full.
Rabada into Yasir Shah. Nice looking cover drive through, extra cover by Yasir Shah. 4 runs to him. He's on to 14 of 8.
I think it's a fair speculation, Ravi, because the majority of his balls have been a fuller length. So I think it's a fair speculation. You're right, we went to the dressing room, but I think it's fair to say that.
Well,
the guys that bother fuller length are Rabada and Gidi. And the guy that doesn't or shouldn't is Nokia. That's really common sense.
South Africa's think tank.
Rabada into Yasir Shah, short, ducked underneath, no run.
But the think tank is not so silly as to say, oh, it'll work if Nokia bowls full. They're just getting Gidi on. So I don't think that can be it. There's something going off with Nokia.
Yeah, I think, Tim, we are speculating at the moment. But, okay, we see Rabada coming into Yasir Shah, thick outside edge. Forward defensive shot there down to third man. When Nokia picks it up and they'll go through for 2. Yasir Shah retains the strike. He's on 16 of 10, 348 for 9.
Rabada bowled some filth outside the off stump there, didn't he?
We did a wicket, boys. We did a wicket. Finish us off now.
They've taken a second slip out. There's a man behind square on the point boundary. 1 slip standing at about second slip. Cover, extra cover, mid off, mid on. Rabada into Yasir Shah, driven and off the outside edge. Is Nokia going to cut this one off? No. Through the third man boundary fence for another 4. 350 up for Pakistan. 352 for 9. 112.4 overs. Gone.
We've got a tweet from Leah. Thanks, you anarchist. She says, good morning, everyone. Cricket, a hot cup of coffee and guerrilla comms. The day could start much worse. And it must be bloody early in the morning for her. It's what, 6:30. So
Well, thank you.
thanks for listening in. Yeah. And Unpo, the friendly sports guy, sends us a GIF from Fridge Wars saying every run scored this morning by Pakistan is like a dagger to my heart.
I'm feeling you, Mo. And we see a replay of the appeal for Nauman Ali's leg before umpire's call would have been the call. If South Africa had a review to review that, they would have retained it.
So,
1 ball to go in Rabada's over here. Yasir Shah on 20 of 12. Nauman Ali on 17 of 35. Rabada comes into Yasir Shah. This one, he went chasing after a wide one with a flat bat, went past the man at point, missed field there. Looks like Markram might have injured himself diving to stop that ball, and they take a single. End of the over. Leaders 133 now, 353 for 9.
This
why is
partnership,
Rabada bowling wide? Why is Rabada bowling wide? That's twice
I
this
have
over.
no idea. I have
can't
no
answer,
idea.
that's a good question. This partnership was put on 30 runs in 4.1 overs. Over 7 and over. This partnership.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most of them
like
are 4K.
say daggers. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a bad morning for South Africa so far. Just half an hour, and they've scored 45 runs.
Yes, that is true, and we are certainly feeling it here. Keshav Maharaj replacing Anrich Nortje. Good call. What do you guys think? I'm happy to see some spin, especially in place of Nortje.
I'd be happy to see Ngidi, anyone, because Rabada's losing his line as well at the other end.
Yeah, Rabada's holding up his end quite well. Ngidi might have been a good call as well. Yasir Shah is facing Keshav Maharaj, who comes left-handed round the wicket. This one is defended out to cover, no run.
This is why you keep your reviews, at least one, right until the end. You don't waste them all, because now there's nothing to stop the umpires from being certain of their calls and not being
Maharaj
challenged.
drifts this one way past the leg stump, and Yasir Shah just dabs it down to square leg for a single. And he moves on to 22 or 15, a quick 22, what do you say, cameo here by Yasir Shah, as it's called. Nauman Ali will now face Maharaj. He's a left-hander, so Maharaj will be able to work with those foot marks outside off stump. Let's see if Keshav can do the job here.
Into him, so he can sweep.
LBW appeal. Sweep shot there by Nauman Ali. And Malindar says no. I think that struck him outside the line. So I agree there with
the umpire.
Mr. Dar, with umpire Dar. And umpire Ashan Raza is at the other end on debut. This one's for defensive by Nauman Ali, and there's no run. Tim, can I ask you a huge favor? Just take over ball by ball from me for a few minutes. I just need to take care of something inside. Thanks a lot.
That's fine. That's fine. That's a full ball there. Maharaj absolutely off stump, and Nauman tries to dab it down to the far leg, and he misses it and goes through to the keeper. No run.
Okay. Leah, banks in hedonistic anarchist, says it's 6:30 for me as well, but I get up at 6 anyway, so it's not that inconvenient. Fair enough, Leah. Glad to have you with us. It's 7:30 in South Africa, and it's 11 o'clock where I am.
And that's full of ball out of the off stump, and Nauman Ali gets forward and blocks it, and there's no run. 354 for 9 at the end of the over.
Yeah. And that's us up to date with tweets right now. We don't have anything on YouTube.
Alrighty.
We don't appear to be on Facebook. I don't know what's, or if I'm not looking in the correct way. But let me check again.
Rabada is still going to be bowling. They are at the opposite end. There's one thing about the spin. 10 and 11 generally like to take the attack, so they might give Maharaj a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's see what Maharaj can do. But they probably need to do something about the other end as well, unfortunately.
Yeah. Could have spin at both ends. First ball from Rabada and it's blocked on the offside by Yasir Shah, no run. You could have spin at both ends.
Yeah, but you'd have the same spinner, wouldn't you? George Linder is another left arm offie. So
second ball is a little bit more on stumps, and Yasir Shah is able to work it to the leg and get a single, 355 for 9. That is true, but if there's one bowler who's been economical in this innings, it is George Linder. He hasn't looked threatening, but he has been economical.
Fine,
he could hold up an end while Maharaj gets the wicket.
If that was the case, I'd really prefer Ngidi or Rabada to bowl, because at least they are a threat with the ball, and you just need one wicket, so just go with it. But if they're just leaking runs, yeah, maybe George Linder. What about Markram?
No thanks. Rabada comes in and it's blocked on the offside again for Muhammad Ali. Yeah, that was an emphatic no.
No faith in him. You have no faith in him at all.
Not as a bowler, no.
Oh right, okay. What does he bowl?
Off spin.
Sort of leg spin filth.
And that next ball is short ball out of the off stump, and Muhammad Ali plays it sort of one-day shot over the slips, and it's very nearly caught there by Maharaj at the boundary, but it bounces just in front of him, and they come through for a single.
Thank you, Tim. Which ball are we at in the over here?
The fifth ball of the over.
Okay, Rabada comes over the wicket, and this one is awkwardly defended, bobbles up into the air. No one there to catch it. 356 for 9.
Rafi, to answer your question, Markram bowls bang average off spin.
Bang average off. Yes, but he's a right arm off spinner, isn't he?
Yep.
Yes.
So this it turns the other way, sure, but I'm sorry, this is just rubbish.
Well, it might be something to try against Nauman Ali.
Rabada to Yasir Shah.
No faith in him.
Deflects down to find leg. They take a single. Yasir Shah is hogging the strike here. 357 for 9, and he's doing well with it too. 24 of 19 is Yasir Shah. That's the end of the over.
357 for 9. That's 49 runs put on this morning. It's heartbreaking for South Africa.
Yes, it is.
If Markram's going to bowl, I'd rather have Faf, honestly.
Yes, at least that's some leg spin.
Some leg spin, and it has been known to turn the ball occasionally.
And this is now the 4th highest partnership in this innings for Pakistan. 34 of 38 balls. It's a sting in the tail. The sting in the tail of Pakistan.
Crazy. Well, at least Maharaj is bowling to the right-hander, which is...
Yeah, that's what he wants. You're right. He wants to get the ball go away from the bat. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
But
he needs to get his mind right.
Maharaj full toss on leg stump, and Yasir Shah obliges with a slog sweep. Nortje is unable to stop the ball from going for 4.
That wasn't bang average. That was try.
More hand sanitizer into the cuts of South Africa by Pakistan.
Ah.
361 for 9.
That was tripe on all accounts.
Leah says, did you see that Yasir grin? Good to see a number 11 enjoying their batting slogging, facing Rabada no less. Yeah, Yasir Shah, well, he had a test century, as we know. Though from number
Maharaj,
8.
this time a better line, a better length, actually hit the pitch, and Yasir Shah defends back down the pitch for no run.
Yeah,
How's that
previous
saying
ball
go,
was split
Keshav?
out.
They did a lot of work on this wicket. Please use it. That one on Midland leg defended out to mid wicket for no run.
Well, I mean, if Keshav Maharaj can let one slip as though he were a leg spinner, what is the world coming to?
This one pitched on leg and driven out to mid on for no run.
Yeah.
But talking about the ineffectiveness of our bowling this morning, this is why, and I know I'm a bit on the repeater, but this is why I wanted Shamsi to play. Because he's not predictable.
Hafiz Tuhid on Twitter says, so unfortunately for you, they are keeping scoring easily, in reply to Umpo's knife to the heart comment. They are scoring very easily.
Keshav is better line, better length, and defended by Yasir Shah for no run.
It's just...
One more ball to go by Keshav, and this one's driven back to the bowler for no run. End of the over, 361 for 9. Yasir Shah, 28 of 25. Nah, ouch. And Nauman Ali, 18 of 41.
Well, if you're going to give him full tosses on the leg stump, then you deserve
What else do you
it.
expect? Yes, we are feeding Yasir Shah some very nice 4 balls, and he is taking full advantage. Although that one cover drive that he played was a good shot. That was a good ball, a good length, and he drove that really nicely through cover. Nauman Ali will now face Lungi Ngidi, who replaces
finally.
Rabada. Let's see what Lungi can do. Hopefully he can put South Africa out of their misery and get them off the field. He has bowled 15 overs for 55 runs, and he has taken 2 wickets in this inning so far. He's got 2 slips in, man at point, about 3 pitch widths away from the batter. Fine leg, the same distance, and Gidi goes to Nauman Ali, who plays this off his legs down to fine leg, where George Linder fields, and they take a single. Nauman Ali, the left-hander, is now off strike. Yasir Shah faces the next ball from Gidi. 362 for 9.
I'll give that to Gidi as a sighter.
Nokia's got 2 wickets, Ravi.
Oh, okay. Okay, so our wager is still on.
It's still on, mate. It's still on.
So, Ngidi now to Yasir Shah has got 1 slip in, and it's a wide-ish slip. He's got a man at fine leg on the boundary. Point about 4 pitch widths away, catching mid-wicket, mid-on and mid-off. Ngidi to Yasir Shah, this one outside or stump, blocked back to the bowler, no run.
Again, it's a bit too wide. You're bowling to 10 11, bowl at the stumps. You hit, I miss.
Absolutely. Absolutely agreed.
No, we don't like to see these wide deliveries, and all the bowlers, I think, except Rabada, has Nortje and Ngidi and even Keshav Maharaj have really not been accurate so far. But this is only 2 balls by Ngidi. Let's see what he does with this third one. This is on the leg and just flicked off his pads down to fine leg, where George in the field, so they take a single. And the score moves to 363, I think. Should be 362 for 9. It shows now 363. Yes, there it goes. 363 for 9. Nauman Ali will now face 3 balls from Ngidi. That first run off the over came from a leg by. It's been signaled. and that was off Norman Ali, who's now facing again after Yasir Shah took a single.
So we have a sketch from Dr. Dan Diapa of Hassan Ali being hit. He sent it kindly to Guerrilla Essay, so whoever's in charge of the Twitter can retweet it. That would be fantastic.
Thank you, Dr. Dan. Nauman Ali defends this one to extra cover, no run.
The doctor's been a busy man this test match with his drawings.
At
He's done several.
Heading for almost a 200-run lead.
Yeah, the lead is creeping up to the 150 mark now. It's 143 at the moment,
Crazy.
which is it's not nice. Ngidi to Nauman Ali. He pulls this one from outside off stump to mid on for a single. 364 for 9. Of course, if you are a Pakistan fan, each and every of these runs will spark great joy for you.
Particularly, I was going to say, after the New Zealand tour, they want some good news.
Yes, and I think it's appropriate for a team to be struggling against Pakistan the first time they play Pakistan in a long time. So from that point of view, it is nice to see. I can imagine how awesome this must be for Pakistan fans. Ngidi over the wicket to Yasir Shah on the off-stump line, defended for no run. Better line there by Ngidi. No space, no room to play a shot for Yasir Shah. End of the over. Ngidi has bowled 16. He's conceded 37 runs for 2 wickets, 364 now after 117 overs.
Pakistan are notoriously unpredictable, but for ball one, they have been absolutely superb in every department. Bowling, batting, ground fielding, catching. In every department, they have been of the highest order.
Yeah. South Africa will have to step up to match them in this game if they want to have a chance of winning it. As we said this morning when we started, there is a chance for South Africa still to win this test. There's enough time, but they will need to step it up. Maharaj over the wicket to the left-handed Nauman Ali, who defends this, and it's squared out to point where there's nobody. Slip has to run and field it, and they take a single. Now looks like Alimdar is signalling something. Current partnership is 41 runs or 50 balls, and you see smiles there in the Pakistan dressing room. Was that Yunus Khan? I think.
Yes.
365 for 9. Yunus Khan smiling from ear to ear, as well he might. And Maharaj now round the wicket to Yasir Shah, who drives this swats it over mid on for a beautiful 6. What a shot there by Yasir Shah. That was a really nice shot off Keshav Maharaj. He's on to 35, 371 for 9.
And that wasn't really a bad ball.
Well,
it
got to the
was
pitch
outside off stump. And
maybe a bit full.
Stepped down the...
Yeah.
Well, I wonder, didn't he jump down the pitch to hit it?
I don't think so. I think it was a bit full. Yunus Khan smiling even more now. We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Well, I've been hoping to come into the session.
150.
I've been hoping
the wicket, and this one is cut by Yasir Shah down to backward point, and they'll take 2.
If you just compare that 6 and the dismissal of Quinton de Kock, Yasir Shah chose the right ball, Quinton de Kock chose the wrong ball.
Yeah, exactly the same shot attempted, yes. And but for Yasir Shah, the ball was close enough to him. He didn't have to dance down the pitch or anything. He just had to put his foot next to it and swing through. Keshav Maharaj in again. This is a better length, defended off middle and leg down to square leg, and they take a single. 374 for 9.
I'm not going to see South Africa batting this session, am I?
No.
Not in my.
It doesn't look that
commentary.
way. It doesn't
No.
look that way. We will have to wait a bit longer for Pakistan to give it up, to give up their last wicket here. So good on them. They are playing some excellent cricket here. Frustrating tale for South Africa. And Nauman Ali now joins the party, dancing down the wicket. 1 bounce, 4 runs, straight past the bowler on the offside. And he's on debut, but we know that he's a old hand. He's a very experienced first-class cricketer, and he's enjoying his Test debut here. Swatting at with disdain back straight past the bowler. Nice shot.
Well, time to remove Keshav Maharaj, clearly. He doesn't have the control.
Yes,
they
are ruining Keshav Maharaj figures and batting out of the attack. This one is just defended, no run.
It's been a crazy morning, but the Pakistanis are very happy. Well, good for them, but really poor stuff by South Africa. I'd say the lack of control in the bowling is what is most disappointing.
That's it. Yeah. It's
Yes,
the line of length that is all wrong. All of it's wrong. Like, as I said earlier.
And I think that the fact that we are trying to guess what the South Africans are doing, the fact that there's no obvious plan is also a bit worrying. The partnership is now tied for third in the innings, 55 runs, but in less balls, for only 56 balls. This one is Ngidi over the wicket to Yasir Shah, defends to Madonna, no run.
I mean, that right there is a short ball at 130 kilometers an hour. Now, Yasir Shah is not going to be particularly threatened by that. He might have been threatened if it was 146 by Nokia.
Okay. Maybe.
Enough.
I'm still holding out hope for Ngidi. It's only a second over.
Yes, he's second ball of his second over. And this one shot outside off stump, just defended back to mid-off for no run. Yasir Shah approaching his 50 steadily. And we see that the team manufacturer has got some really interesting guerrilla marketing here. I quite like this kind of advertising. Even the commentators have now joined in with the what's his name? Also holding a cup of tea with the sponsor clearly visible on it. This one is surprising bounce there for Yasir Shah, and the ball just balloons off his bat to point where a silly point would have been, or maybe over the head of silly point. There's no run, no chance for a catch.
Sean B on YouTube writes to us.
Yes.
Saying, do you guys think that the par score on this wicket in the first innings was 350? Shows the very poor batting. I couldn't agree with you more, Sean, but also there is some poor bowling to be blamed for this Pakistani innings. Some very good backing by the Pakistanis, Fawad Alam, Yasir Shah and Nauman are just taking their chances. But that they're given those chances.
Yes, the Pakistanis have taken advantage of every poor ball very well. Ngidi almost snuck it through there. Yasir Shah managed to defend that ball on middle and off for no run.
One thing is certain is 220 was very much subpar.
Yes, well below par. And if you look at the wickets, the 2 run-outs and then the 2 giveaway wickets was De Kock and Algar, I think, threw their wickets away. Ngidi into Yasir Shah, defended outside off and no run. So those 4 guys, Avuma, Van der Tussen, Algar, and De Kock, had each scored 20 or 30 more runs, it would have been a completely different story.
I think you're a little bit
I'm
harsh.
not going to blame Elgar too much.
I think you're a bit harsh on Elgar.
No, he played a good innings, but he threw his wicket away. The shot that he played was not good.
I'm a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I agree with that. That was a good ball. That was a good delivery.
And Giri
Also-
and Yasir Shah defends this out to cover no run, and there's some words between Yasir Shah and Ngidi. Yasir Shah will not back down, that's for sure. He loves a bit of banter. 378 for 919 overs. You think Elgar was a good delivery, chasing one, a wide one?
I think that
I do.
at that stage, you can forgive Elgar a lapse in concentration.
Yes.
You can't forgive it early in an innings, but once he scored 58 runs and stayed for over 100 deliveries, the occasional lapse in concentration will come through. So I'm not going to be too harsh.
Yeah,
on that.
okay, maybe a harsh one for Elgar, but still the other three, each of them an extra 20, 30 runs could have been a different story.
Yeah, I think most of the team just batted poorly. And it was just bad all round, really.
Yeah. Except
that the most impressive batsman was Kagiso Rabada. Just tells you the tail up
yes, he was.
The South African innings.
Maharaj is still in the attack now. Ali wants him out, dances down the wicket, and smashes this one straight to the man at middle for a run. The Maharaj left-hander coming over the wicket to Nauman Ali, the left-hander. Lead is now 158. This session has yielded 70 runs, 1 wicket at a run rate of 5.75. So clear plan here from Pakistan. Maharaj sweep by Nauman Ali, hits him on the pads. He's given out by Alindar. He reviews it immediately. They've got 2 reviews left, so why not use them? I think that might be out.
I think that's definitely out.
So let's see what this one does. It pitches, just outside off stump and hits him in front of his middle stump. So that was maybe going on to middle and leg there, I think. Let's see. Asif Yaqub is the third umpire. Nothing on the bat. The bat's nowhere near the ball as it passes. And strikes him on the pad. His back foot is in his crease. His knee is just on the left-handed Nauman Ali. His knee is just outside the crease. This one strikes him in line and would be hitting middle leg. So review lost, but the end of Pakistan's innings, 378. South Africa minus 158 without loss as they will start to bat. And who's got the scorecard in front of them? Tim, can you walk us through that?
Can go through the scorecard, yes.
Thank you.
Actually, mate, I don't have it, sorry. Don't have it. I do. Sorry, my apologies. So Imran Butt scored 9 of 25 balls. Peterson bowled Rabada. Abid Ali scored 4 of 9 bowled by Rabada. Asif Ali was caught to cook, bowled by Maharaj for 51. Babar Azam was Albert W. Maharaj for 7. Shaheen Tide Afridi, when he came in, was bowled by Nokia for 0. Fawad Alam, the top scorer, was caught for Burma, bowled Giri for 109. Mohammad Rizwan was caught to Duplessis, bowled Giri for 33. Fine Ashraf was bowled by Nokia for 64. Hassan Ali was bowled by Rabada for 21. Nauman Ali was Albert W by Maharaj for 24. And Yasir Shah was not out, 38 37 balls. The bowling, Kagiso Rabada, 27 overs, 7 maidens, 3 for 70. And Nokia, 27 overs, 2 for 105. And Giri, 17 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 57. Maharaj, 32.2 overs, 4 maidens, 3 for 90. George Linder, 13 overs, 4 maidens, nothing for 38. And Malcolm Bond, 3 overs, 9 maidens, nothing for 10. And that's the end of Pakistan's innings of 378 with a lead of 158.
158. Shall I just rattle through the tweets? We've had quite a few coming in.
Yes, and Sean agrees with you here, saying that I'm too harsh on Algar. So, yes, I'll concede. I was a bit harsh on Algar.
Yeah, rather the two run-ups should be blamed. South Africa batting has been poor for so long. Simon Gear says, South Africa getting thumped by the tailenders here. Thank goodness it's over, Simon. That's all I can say. Kamran replies to Dr. Dan Diakba, saying he wasn't hit on the helmet, it was on the arm, I think. He was a hit on the arm. The Goth Pontiff Infanta Whisperer replies to Simon Gear, saying SA cricket is baseball plus Valiant. I think that's unfair. Jeff Lemon Sport had tweeted, watching Yasir Shah play a test match in Karachi is a particular joy. See him clout punch from number 11 is a perfect extra. To which Simon Gear has retweeted it and quoted, and you can listen to it happen on 1WSR.com with Gorilla SA. Ravi the Heavy Roller Ready says, Yasir is showing his prowess at the bat and reminding the top six on how to play aggressively without losing your wicket. Fair enough. I think he did give chances, though, and the South Africans bowled particularly badly. Josie O, Boy Pom says, morning all, cloudy and cool in Joburg. Nice, and you're doomed. Oh, well, it's all very well being an Australian Englishman in South Africa, so you can call everyone doomed.
We'll take that with a pinch of salt, yes.
Yeah, and Robbie the Heavy Roller Ready says only the top six can save South Africa now, which I will agree with, because you can't rely on the tail to provide the runs, not this many. Absolutely. But it's a question of whether the top six will do it or not. Elgar can. Markram has to prove himself. It's been a long time coming. And Rassie van der Dusen, if not for that silly, sharp run, born of T20 desire to take runs, would perhaps have been okay. Faf is Faf. Quinton de Kock is not going to last long, whatever happens. He's not the sort of batsman for this condition, for these conditions. And Temba, maybe he just needs to run quicker. That's all I can say.
All right.
It's time for us to go, isn't it?
Yes, we need to go. We need to go, guys. Cross over to the next team.
Okay, who's the next team?
It was great fun. Have a good one, everybody. Enjoy the South African batting. And I'll be with you again after lunch. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and I'll see you after tea. So I'll see you then. Bye-bye now.
And Ken and I, how embarrassing, we're wearing the same shirt. That's what we've come back to. I've also got an SA rugby shirt on.
Oh my goodness, Chris. Well, I guess we're trying to take our minds off South African cricket at the moment. After that,
for me,
that first half.
Yeah, at least we've got that final wicket now. I was trying to show my support. I wore my only SA cricket shirt that fits yesterday, so I had to follow it up. I'll slowly run through rugby, soccer, just everything. If it helps even the tiniest little bit.
Yeah. Have you got a?
At least we got to see KG get his 200th wicket. That's.
Well, yeah.
It's in the mail. So Rabada, I think, was the fourth youngest and the third fastest in terms of deliveries. Those are the ones we focus on rather than matches, because it makes it look a bit better.
Yes. To me, deliveries is really probably the most pertinent stat there, and third best ever. That just shows what a great bowler Rabada is. And he's the one guy I've been really impressed with in this Test match. 3 for 70 might not be the greatest figures he's ever had, but I just thought in terms of effort and dragging life out of a pitch that really didn't suit him that much. He was top notch.
Yeah, I think we saw the difference yesterday evening when he came on just before they took the new ball. He was obviously bowling with the same ball as them and seems to just inject another level of bowling where the batsmen were looking very comfortable and then was suddenly looking under pressure. It didn't turn into any wickets at the time, unfortunately, but you could see that he brought a little bit extra.
Yeah, and maybe that's why he didn't bowl more with the new ball. I mean, maybe he was a bit spent after that effort, but there's no doubt that South Africa got it wrong with the second new ball yesterday afternoon as well. One of a few mistakes I'm afraid Quinton has made.
Hi everyone.
At least I didn't see anyone. Hey, and Paul's here.
Yeah, I'm
not wearing the same shirt. You didn't get the memo.
Morning,
no, unfortunately not. Morning. I'll just be hanging around doing tweets, but just allow you guys just to call the game and do a commentary.
And then, Ken, I think you might just have to turn your TV down in the background.
I have, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So between the two of you, you'll decide if you want to do ball by ball or color, and then I'll just run with the tweets. So please do tweet us at GUERILLASA. Gorilla.
And we gotta play this fun game again. Is everyone on live TV just on the television for the Dakota?
Yeah, I've got Shaheen Shah Afridi doing a
Are you on live?
A practice run.
A warm-up run.
Yeah, I'm also on live.
Practice runs, yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm happy to do the ball by ball if that works for everyone.
So Ken, what's the minimum that South Africa needs to get, or is it just batting out time?
Well, I think they're kind of linked because we are only on the third day, but 158 behind. South Africa need at least 300 to have any chance. So that's back the whole of today, because I don't think the scoring rate is going to be that quick. So, for them to get 300 plus, they're batting into the middle of tomorrow anyway, which then leaves, a day and a half. But if they can bat a large portion of tomorrow as well.
As we see, the first delivery is Shaheen Shah Afridi coming left arm over the wickets into the right-handed marker. He just dabs it into the offside and then runs away to that boundary for 4. Good start to the South African innings. Carry on like that, and we can put them back in by the end of the day.
Declare, yeah. That was a bright start. So if South Africa back for most of tomorrow as well, then that lead, they should be around 400, and the lead will be 250. So, and then it's game on. But really, South Africa need to just focus on batting time here.
And we've continued with the pattern, looking at recent innings of Markram tends to face the first ball in South Africa's second innings. As this one again from Shaheen Shah Afridi is just left alone by Aiden Markram, goes through to Rizwan for no run. South Africa still 4 for no loss.
Some tweets here. Ravi the Heavy Roller already was about 10 minutes ago. Only the top 6 can save South Africa now. Do we think so, Ken?
Well, I think we'll probably.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's entirely the batsman's job now. I mean, they've got to form good partnerships. We saw in that Pakistan innings that as soon as Azhar Ali and Fawid Alam got together.
The third delivery from Shaheen Afridi's just left alone, no run.
And formed a partnership. That's when the tide started turning. I mean, Pakistan's last 5 wickets adding... Well, if I just add it up here, I mean, it's absolutely remarkable that they went from 33 for 4 to 378 all out. So their last 5 wickets added 257 runs. So it's all about partnerships because they started to get partnerships going.
Afridi in again and again left alone. So 3 dots to follow up the boundary of the first. South Africa 4 for no loss.
Ravi also tweets saying, "Congratulations, Kagiso Rabada, 200 wickets, superb career so far. Long may these performances continue."
Yeah, KG to me was the one shining light in that bowling attack. Chris and I were just chatting
It's
about
so
it.
good to have him back.
Yeah, just in terms of effort, and yeah, you can see he's a class performer, and it's managing to drag something extra out of this pitch.
Penultimate delivery from Afridi, also left alone, no run. And we spoke about the fact that Rabada was the third fastest in terms of deliveries. That's always been what he's been brilliant at, his strike rate. I think it's still the fact that he's got the best strike rate since Lohman, which is just about the best strike rates of over the last 100 years of anyone with more than 100 wickets.
Yeah, but then when what impressed me is that when conditions aren't that conducive for him to go bang, 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 he's got the control. I mean, he was South Africa's most economical bowler.
Yes, and that's what KG brings to the side as well. It's just, it's like he's a step ahead of everybody else in that bowling attack, which is true. And that experience is showing, and that's what we kind of missed against Sri Lanka in certain parts, but it's good to have him back. And also, it's been over a year since he took the 197th wicket. I think it was 398 or something days. And obviously, it's great to have him today, get one today, because yesterday was really, really hard on the boys.
Yeah, and I think, I can understand that the Proteas being a little bit flat at the end of yesterday, a hard day in the field, as you say, in Poe, but to come out this morning and just look so flat, in the morning of a test match where you absolutely have to hit your straps from the beginning, was very disappointing.
Yeah, it is, and that's what this team's going to probably struggle to work through with the whole captaincy debate. I think in terms of obviously Quinton's just there for a moment, but you kind of need someone for the future, and this team needs to try and work out a way to get themselves as leaders, to get themselves out of this funk rather than just going through the motions and seemingly playing without responsibility. It felt like this morning. It's you just arrive and it's like you're doing a job rather than giving us your 100% effort.
Hassan Ali is opening the bowling from the other end of the first delivery, just straight slightly wide. Rizwan has to dive for it, and there's no run.
Great point, Impo, about everyone taking responsibility, because let's be honest, I don't think Quinny is the sort of rah-rah leader that's going to give big speeches at the start of play and really fire up the guys.
Hassan Ali, and again, this one slightly closer to Dean Elgar's wickets, and he just defends it back up the crease for a dot.
And, at this level, guys shouldn't need that much motivating. You should be able to do your own mental preparation before the start of play and make sure that you get out there, ready to try and give your best. And certainly this morning, that bowling was not the best that South Africa can deliver.
Third delivery from Hassan Ali, again attacking just outside off stump from Dean Elgar. He's coming right on over into the left-handed Elgar, and this one's just defended for a dot.
Hassan Ali on the mark there, just keeping it tight and not giving Dean any loose balls there.
Better than what we saw from Hassan Ali in the first innings, where he was a little bit wayward to start.
Tim, the cricket guy, says, give Statsman Chris Tyndale, cricket scribe Ken Borland, and Mpomariki a listen as SA start their second innings. Do tweet them at Gorilla SA with all your opinions. #PuckVSA. And he's also given our YouTube link there as well. So thank you very much, Chris. Please do send in your tweets.
Yeah, just another defensive shot from Elgar off the fourth delivery. Again, no run. As we're looking at opening batting stats over the last 4 years, we were talking about yesterday how many countries seem to be struggling with openers at the moment. There's not a lot of consistency across the countries. South Africa may actually be one of the better ones in terms of consistency, as this delivery from Hassan Ali is driven beautifully by Dean Elgar, going over the offside boundary, and he picks up his first run. South Africa 8 for no loss.
or certainly consistent at the one half of the opening partnership, Dean Elgar. Aidan Markram, of course, has got a lot to prove in this innings, not just his really poor record on the subcontinent, but just in terms of consistency. I mean, we can all see that he's got the talent and he has played some wonderful innings, but just seems to get a bit ahead of himself at times.
Yeah, this delivery from Hassan Ali, there's an appeal, and I'm not sure exactly what Absel, but
So
it's
Dean-
it's if you can explain that one, Paul.
So Dean shouldered arms outside the off. It looks like he was in front of off. The ball looked like it hit him on the thigh pad. The Pakistanis were, the slip cordon went up, but obviously they don't have the view of the height, but they didn't take the decision review system. It was one of those ones where you just hope that it's missing the stumps, but he left it on length there, and he got away with it.
Yeah, I guess when I was talking about the consistency from this partnership, more in personnel, although Markram has been left out of the side on a few occasions, for the most part, we've known who our two openers are. Where even if you compare to Pakistan, they seem to have cycled through a lot of openers over the last 4 years, as this delivery from Shaheen Shah Afridi into Aidan Markram is just driven to the man on the square, and there's no run.
But kid, if Aidan doesn't have a good series, do we still take him for Australia, or do we look to other guys in the setup like Sarel Avia? Because that's what's been going around in the Twitter sphere around how long does one give Aidan Markram if this lean patch continues?
Shaheen Shah Afridi in against Markram, this one just outside off stump, left alone through to Riz on no run. Good pace there from Afridi.
It's tough because Markram is a different batsman at home than he is on the subcontinent. His record just shows that. I think he averaged around 40 the series against Sri Lanka at home. There are only 2 tests here, so yeah, it probably would be a bit harsh to drop him for the Australia series.
Do you think we should just say in the year 2021, Aidan Markram and Dean Elgar are going to be our opening partnership, regardless of what's going to happen, to just calm the nerves, just give some sort of a plan going forward?
No, I think Markram needs to deliver, and he needs to deliver more consistently than he has been. So if he has a poor series against Australia, then maybe they should go 2022. That's the year for a new opener that we look at, because to be fair, Markram has had quite a few chances to really cement a place in the team.
As Afridi's actually had to re-bowl one. I think there's been a no ball, and this one's left alone by Aidan Markram for no run. So South Africa 9 for no loss after the extra.
And having seen him, I know you spent a lot of times with the Titans earlier this year. Do you think Aidan is more best suited to bat at like a number 4 position? So if, for instance, Faf decides to hang up his boots when he decides of not wanting to push him, do you think Aidan would work better probably at 4?
I'll just wait for this delivery from Shaheen.
Yeah, Afridi in against Markram. This one's a lovely delivery on the wicket. Stuck, just as we were talking about how his position may be under threat.
I'd review this on the angle, hoping
Yeah,
that it picks up.
I don't know. It
I think it might have
looked good
pitched
to
up,
me.
I think it's worth a review.
Okay,
In my opinion.
I'm in the other camp. I think unless he's touched that, it looked pretty bad.
This is the one time we will give him a review, because yesterday the reviews were just so bad. But this is so important. This is such an important moment for South Africa. Just Shaheen getting, and this is what I think Markram was struggling with Shaheen in the first innings, is that he does get some balls to come back in, and this one hitting him in front of off. So there is also another chance that with the angle it could just be missing, but I think it could be clipping with that umpire's call, which isn't what Aidan wants to hear, because they hit him on that front pad. But let's see what Ultra Edge does, because it seems like there's nothing there.
Yeah, Ultra Edge nowhere near the bat. Good
Pitching
fight
outside
six
leg.
inches or so.
He loves to
Ooh,
see another.
yeah.
There
Thank
we go.
goodness. For once, South Africa's got a review right in this test. I thought we were about to do what we did in the bowling innings, waste the ball in a couple of overs, and then just be left as if it's 1990 or early 2000s pre-DRS.
Okay, that's good. Good use of the review.
Now, hopefully, he can make the most of that.
Okay. But it brings a little bit of doubt into Aiden because obviously Shaheen gets the ball to go across him and he has that one that comes back in. And I think that's what happened in that first innings. He was playing for one that was coming back in and he got the edge.
The follow-up delivery, doesn't swing in quite as much, just goes outside the off stump of Aiden Markram, who leaves it alone. So 1 ball left in this over, South Africa 9 for no loss.
The other thing that we need to be worried about is the inconsistent bounce. You saw with that ball, Aiden shouldered arms, thinking that he'd get the bat very high up, but it actually it ended up lower than the toe end of the bat. So that's something that's also going to play on his mind.
Yeah, there's enough to worry about with Yasser Shah, also obviously a big threat later on today.
And this one, confidently from Aiden Markram, as it's quite close to the stump. So it ends up missing by enough that he's able to finish the over not out. South Africa 9 for no loss after 2. Yeah, Yasser Shah, the biggest threat, I think, as we saw even late in the first innings. But he's the most experienced bowler by a long way in that Pakistani setup, with Shane Afridi being second, and I think this is only Afridi's 13th or 14th test. He's really going to have to be the one that's the backbone of that Pakistani bowling lineup, as we've seen images of him now as well.
Yeah, he certainly played a delightful little hand with the bat as well. 38 or 37 balls.
Hassan Ali, a shortish delivery into Dean Elgar on his hips, who he just guides it down to Shaheen Shah Afridi at square leg as they go through for a single. South Africa 10 for no loss.
Got a tweet here from David Midgley. He says, "Good morning, all. Gorilla say some thoughts around KG and his 200. 1, incredible for him. I am proud. 2, KG bowling adapting to conditions so well is one of maturity and skill that comes only from experience. 3, beware this bowling attack in a few years, maturing very well. 4, KG and all other bowlers will need to be managed to keep them going as long as possible. And 5, as much as one shouldn't need to be G'd up, bowlers need the motivation to wrap it up. Otherwise, they could mentally be batting." Yes. Yeah.
And I think you also need to be backed up in the field. Bowlers' heads can drop when those misfields are happening and those dropped catches. It's very easy to lose morale. As Hassan Ali in again to Aiden Markram, this one on the wickets, just guided to the man at a short mid-on for no run.
And I thought yesterday the fielding effort was particularly poor. There just wasn't that intensity. We're used to South Africa putting pressure on the batsmen in the field, through the field. And, never mind the drop catches. The
ground fielding wasn't great as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dave says, just not after this ball.
Hassan Ali in again to Aiden Markram, just defended up the pitch for no run. It's almost guided onto the wickets of Dean Elgar at the non-strikers end, but I think he was in his crease and it didn't hit in either case. So South Africa 10 for no loss.
Yeah, so Dave says, just a not-so-gentle reminder to not call Chris Tyndale. He's busy. In need, tweet at Gorilla SA. So if you need Chris, please do tweet us, and I'll let him know what you need.
Yeah, I should put my phone on. Should put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Just everything that could go wrong has been, just for my internet connection, is this one from Hassan Ali. It strays slightly down leg. Markram plays it expertly off his pads, guides it down to the fine leg region, and South Africa move on to 14 for no loss. As that goes for 4.
Yeah, we'll take them whichever way they come. That one's coming off the glove there, down the leg side, and yeah, we'll take it.
The one thing about the bad start to the day for South Africa is that at least their batsmen will take some confidence from the work of the Pakistan tail there. If they manage to score 70 runs or 74 balls, conditions can't be that bad.
Hassan Ali, and again to Aiden Markram. This one swings in quite nicely. Markram also drives it well, but it doesn't get further than Fahim Ashraf on the square. Yeah, we can bat with the confidence that knowing even if we're 33 for 4, we can still get 378.
The problem is that it's a lot easier to have that confidence when you 308 for 8 and already got a little bit of a lead than when you're 158 behind. So such a mental game, cricket.
This one from Hassan Ali strays slightly further down leg. It's just defended up the crease for no run. Yeah, if we think Pakistan were 15 for 2, 14 for no loss, that's pretty good. I think we're going to have a big one here.
No, and that's that's how you need to keep thinking. You need to be positive. You need to believe that the pitch is not going to deteriorate. I think obviously the big question will be when the spinners come on, how we handle them. But obviously that's part of why they're in Pakistan, because you need to face up to them and be positive. So I think having a good start, at least getting through this period up until lunch without losing a wicket would be something that the South Africans would take, and then come back after lunch and try and just eke out at this deficit and then figure out what you need to do from there on. But it's just playing each ball as it comes and not doing anything too aggressive, because right now you just need to be positive and look to score, not necessarily look to put the opposition under pressure.
Shaheen Shah Afridi starts his third over. A good, just short of a length delivery to Dean Elgar. He gets on the back foot, defends it into the offside, and there's no run.
Yeah, dead right in power. I think get that ball soft. You know, that'll make a big difference. Even Yasser Shah, I think, would like to have a ball that's got a bit of bounce in it. So it's operation where the Pakistanis down at the moment, I'd say.
Yeah, and aim to bat a day and a half, and not worry about the runs right now. Just worry about making sure that you preserve your wicket. It's something that the South Africans need to do, I think. They always, I think, growing up, all the commentators would say that you just need to give yourself time in the middle. You know, that's the best way to get yourself into form, the best way to put teams under pressure.
Freddie's second delivery was just defended up the crease as he's lining up for his third. He's coming in left arm over the wickets into the left-handed Dean Elgar. This one's a shortish delivery. Elgar again gets on the back foot, defends it into the offside, and the fielding's done by Azhar Ali. No run.
So Tim says, I'm not going to lie, my heart was in my mouth with that LBW decision against Markram. Come on, Aiden, at Gorilla SA. And then Dave has tweeted the video of Kagiso's 200th Test wicket that was tweeted out by the Pakistan Cricket Board. So that was very nice of them.
Yeah, Pakistan Cricket, they seem to have been streaming the game over YouTube. It's obviously geo-blocked in certain areas. We don't have it. But pretty innovative way to do it is this delivery from Afridi to Elgar is just batted away into the offside, and they scamper through for a single, move on to 15 for no loss.
This is they're moving into the world of New Zealand cricket with digital broadcasting online, which is something that I think the rest of the world will probably catch up to. So it's really nice to see.
I think it may have been a conversation we've had off air rather than on air, but I think cricket needs to take a page out of basketball's book and maybe be a little less strict about what their copyrights strike on platforms like YouTube. Because I think the NBA has benefited massively from sort of fan-made compilations of basketball players rather, that people can watch, and you can get easily digestible highlights, which gets more people interested in the game. Whereas if anyone who isn't aboard posts a cricket video, it's taken down within about an hour, as Shaheen Afridi comes into Aiden Markram, defended up the crease for no run.
Yeah, cricket has been a bit backwards, I guess, in that respect. It just makes me think of that Australian guy, Rob Moody, who is a wonderful guy to watch on Twitter, because he posts wonderful videos and excerpts from games gone by. And there was a huge uproar recently when Cricket Australia blocked his tweet, and public pressure forced them to change their mind.
And yeah, he's not even posting recent stuff. He's posting lots of old videos that he's recording himself. It's not like he's stealing stuff that they would otherwise post themselves. His last delivery is just defended. A no ball, in fact. So Afridi will have to re-bowl the final delivery of his third over.
Oh my word! That's the one thing about Shaheen Shah Afridi that he needs to get right is reducing the number of no balls that he bowls. It's funny because obviously looking at Pakistan throughout these, they've always had this no ball problem, and it's just wondering. I just wonder why it hasn't been nipped in the bud already.
Afridi's last delivery, he does well just to keep it on the wickets of Aiden Markram, and it's defended for no runs. South Africa 16 for no loss. We've seen a lot of no balls, and I think that is just the third umpire now. He's able to call all of them. Whereas in the last few years at Test cricket, we've seen lots and lots of no balls just not called by umpires because it's difficult to watch the wickets and also your own toes at the same time.
I have a bit of sympathy for Afridi. He's 6'8", just about. So that stride of his must be quite difficult to control at times.
Yeah. No, that is true, and you obviously can't tell a bowler just to not bowl a no ball because obviously it's a mechanics issue, and so yeah, so it's going to be it is tough, but obviously some work needs to go into it either way. We can't just say it can't happen. I think you can work it out.
Hassan Ali starts his third over into Dean Elgar. This one's a quickish delivery on the wickets, and it's just defended into the leg side for no run.
Dr. Dan Diper tweeted a picture. I'll let you know what it's about.
The second delivery here from Hassan Ali, very similar to the first on the wickets. This one from Dean Elgar is able to put a little bit more on it as they run through for another single. He moves on to 7, South Africa on to 17.
Yeah, I'm happy that Dean's also looking to rotate the strike. I think it's something that the South Africans need to incorporate in this period, especially in Pakistan and also when Australia comes to South Africa. Just always be looking to score runs, but low risk shots and low risk scores.
Third delivery from Hassan Ali. This one seems to rush Aiden Markram slightly as it's on his wickets. He just plays it off his pads into the leg side as they go through for, I think, another single there. But yeah, that one did seem to rush him slightly.
Yeah, so Dr. Dan has... Yes, Ken?
You've touched on it before, and I think that's the big question for this batting performance now, and especially against the spinners. You want to keep the scoreboard ticking over, but the best way to do that is probably through singles, through rotation of strike, which requires a bit of skill. But in the first innings, you've seen that South Africa were trying to get the scoreboard going more by trying to create boundary balls. A lot of attacking shots led to wickets.
Hassan Ali in against Elgar. This one seems to keep quite low, but Elgar does very well to keep the bat on it. And he just hits it into the offside and then moves his tongue around quite a lot in his mouth as if to say, geez, that might be low.
Good line and length there from Hassan Ali, just top of off, making Dean Elgar play at that one. It just died as it got to Dean, which is going to play in his mind for a little bit more, but it's part of the game. It's why we play Test cricket.
Penultimate delivery here from Hassan Ali, right on over into the left-handed Elgar. He just plays it off his legs to the man on the edge of the square for no run.
Yeah, great indication of the inconsistent bounce in this pitch in that over. The last ball that Markram faced certainly popped on him a bit. Got it high on the bat. He took the one hand off the bat. And then the next delivery to Elgar, keeping a bit low.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something that we may find a little bit concerning, especially so early in our innings. We've had touches of it throughout the day, but 2 consecutive deliveries with slightly funny bounce can be a worry. As Hassan Ali's changed his line, he's now bowling right arm around the wicket into Dean Elgar, who just drives it to the open offside boundary, and we get another 4, dealing in a lot of 4s today. South Africa 22 for no loss after 6 overs.
Look, bad balls need to be put away, and Dean has been capitalizing on a lot of that, especially in the summer that we've had of cricket coming into Pakistan. The loose deliveries that the bowlers have been bowling, he's been able to latch onto, which is a facet of his game. It seems like he's been able to identify that a lot more and be able to capitalize, which is also really good. I think he's the one who's taken the whole let's play smart, aggressive cricket to the fore, and then he's doing that, and he's the best batsman in the side right now.
And it's nice that we have at least one dependable batsman in this lineup that hopefully everyone else can start to congeal around as Shaheen Afridi begins his 4th over into Aiden Markram, who gets again slightly rushed but gets bat on it, dabs it into the offside for no run. 139 kilometers an hour, a good almost 10-kilometer difference between these two opening bowlers. Shaheen Afridi's definitely woken up with the initiative to bowl quickly, and he has done so far.
So quick tweet from Dave. He says, clearly important, didn't get the memo about the Springboks jersey code on Gorilla SA. I, like my colleague and Paul, am in blue today. Maybe it's because I am feeling blue, because the Proteas made me feel blue.
Shaheen Afridi in against Aiden Markram, just defended up the wickets for no run. And if you're going to put money on one of our commentators to show up in a sports jersey, it would be important. So
I've got a jersey. It's my Two Oceans running jersey. A running shirt, not a jersey. So
I guess that's as close as you can get to a supporters jersey, I suppose. But
it is a supporters jersey. I don't run the Two Oceans in this. I just wear it to make people think that I'm a marathon runner or whatever it is. Make people feel bad in the stores.
That's I don't think anyone's mistaking me the Kenneth Eye for rugby players though, so I don't know if it works. This short delivery, Markram just ducks underneath as it goes through to the keeper for no run.
Yeah, my thinking was I was a bit chilly yesterday, and so I thought looking out this morning, it looked like a similar sort of cold, rainy day. So I thought, well, let me wear something a bit warmer today in the full sleeve jersey.
They don't make those anymore.
Yeah, I've got it spectacularly wrong, of course, because I see the sun is now shining outside.
I know AB, who's one of our commentators, wanted to go play golf at Houghton today, and he was complaining that it was like 90% chance of rain. And so, hope he didn't get we hope he's going in the afternoon, because I think we might get better then.
The 4th delivery from Afridi is just into the pads of Markram, who guides it into the onside, and they go through for another single. I almost wore my Utah Jazz jersey, but I don't think the people streaming are ready for the pastiness of my shoulders. We can save that for a special episode.
When did you get your Utah Jazz jersey?
I got it for Christmas last year. It's quite a challenge to get some of those less popular teams. So I have to thank my mom who had ordered it from the States, and then we waited a while. This one from Afridi into Dean Elgers, again just defended into the offside, and they go through for another single. 24th no loss.
Yeah, good running there from Dean. Dave saying good on Kagiso getting to 200 faster than Jacques Kallis. #200. And then Tim says Aiden Markram on 10 not out moves past pre-isolation SA cricketer of the 1920s Bob Catterall in the list of run scorers in South Africa Test cricket. Chris, I think this is a dig to you, because you guys were fighting over stats yesterday.
Those are the big achievements. I think we were all wondering when's Markram going to overtake Catterall. He's finally done it. He's proved his haters wrong. As this delivery from Afridi into Markram's on his wickets, and again they go through for a single. So great strike rotation so far in this over. South Africa 25 for no loss.
Yeah. Well, that's good. This pair has scored a lot of runs in domestic cricket as well this season. So we're just waiting for them to just step it up and bring it into the SA fold, more so on Aiden. But because when the Titans at the beginning of the season, they all looked very good.
Yeah, I think we've said it before.
good
I was just
understanding
going to say, if you
between
want,
the two of them.
sorry,
Yeah.
if you want Aiden
and,
Markram to perform, just let him bat in a Titans one-day uniform in any game, and I think he'll do all right.
In Paul, you did ask a question which I haven't actually answered. We obviously got distracted about Markram batting at 4. And I think he would need to start doing that more regularly at domestic level, I think, for you to consider it for the test side. Because in red ball cricket for the Titans, he's always opening the batting. So I presume that's where he prefers to be.
No, that is very true, Ken.
Hassan Ali into Aiden Markram, plays into the onside. It's a quite rushed single as a shy at this time, so I think he would have been safe. But yeah, slightly riskier than any of the singles in the previous over. South Africa 26 for no loss.
Otherwise,
no, I'm just saying Aiden's the one making the call there to the fielder at it was mid on. So he had to obviously back himself and put pressure on the fielder. We'll take that one. Yeah, we'll take that one.
Yeah, comfortably home. I do think also that if Markram gets a chance at number 4 in the national team, it's almost like you're giving him 2 bites of the cherry.
Hassan Ali in against Dean Elgar. This one's almost played on as he gets a thick inside edge, which I think just goes into his pads in the end. False shot, but he survives. Dean Elgar's on 12, Markram's on 12, South Africa 26 for no loss.
Yeah, it's like you're saying to Markram, you haven't made it as an opening batsman, but we'll give you another chance at number 4, which is probably a little bit unfair on the other contenders.
No, yes, that is true, because I think South Africa has a rich of young openers who are doing quite well at domestic level, who are probably looking for an opportunity.
And more so
This
middle
one
of the
just
batsman.
defended for Iran.
Yes, that too as well. It's obviously because you can only put 11 on the field, especially whenever a squad gets selected. It's always this young up and coming batsman's not being selected and whatever it is. But obviously that's the nature of the game. It's just it's really interesting because obviously as Chris has gone off a little bit, Hassan Ali into Dean Elgar. This one coming off of his helmet there. We've now called the umpires called for medical reinforcements. That one was a bouncer jagging back into him. I think he came off the back there, Ken. I'm not too sure.
I think helmet, but quite funny. Alim Dar clearly not au fait with how hard Dean Elgar's head is, because he was signalling panic stations straight after the ball hit on the side of the helmet, on the ear. Elgar very quickly indicating that he's fine now. But probably worth checking it out.
Yeah. Well, we saw yesterday. I think one of the tailenders had to do a test with I wouldn't call him a physio, but the doctor. But obviously, Craig Govender is now out onto the field, and he'll probably do the "Where are you, Dean? Do you remember what your name is? Do you know that you come from Kimberley?"
Welcome, isn't it?
Welcome, yes.
Let's hope he doesn't say Kimberley. You'll have to retire.
Trick question, just trying to test them there. While they do that, let me just get through some tweets. Early morning drinking game from Kevin McCallum. A shot of sanitizer every time Elgar is described as gutsy, gritty, or determined, already 2 down. And then Dave says, I would add Simon Gear's favorite, Nuggety, to that list. So hopefully we won't cause Kevin to put on more sanitizer. But it is important in these times to make sure that you are sanitized. Anis Mohammed says, morning, gents. The Pakistani innings just reinforced the tradition of lower order batters or tail enders taking a liking to our bowling. Azam Mahmood's average of 75. Pattinson averages 71. Irfan Pathan averages 88. Paul Rifle averages 50. Mitch Johnson averages 48. Some things never change. Probably we'll need to check these, but I'm assuming this is against South African quicks or the South African bowling attack. And then the super herbalist says, or with Aiden Markram moving past Bob Cattrall, that Tim's tweet, he says, what a fabulous achievement. Moving up any list in international sport anywhere is a fabulous achievement. And then Dave says, I would like to throw the name of Josh Richards into the ring of openers for the future. Ken, have you had a chance to see Josh Richards from the Lions? I like the look of him. I just feel there's so many people in front of him that he might probably get his opportunity in 3-4 years' time unless he has a massive, big second half of the season.
Yeah, certainly. I like the way Dave put it, in the future. Certainly a guy with huge talent, Josh Richards.
Mm-hmm. Next ball in from Hassan Ali, and it's a back of a length ball, and Dean just plays that back out to the bowler. No run there, 26 without loss. He seems to be fine now, remembers everything, and he's acknowledging to the slip cord in that he is okay, which is good. Heart and mouth stuff for the South Africans. On Josh Richards, Ken?
Yeah, he's certainly one to keep an eye on, no question about that. And has made a very good start to his franchise career.
Hassan Ali again, just down the leg side this time, played off the hips by Dean Alga, no run, 26 without loss. Chris seemingly is back. We missed you, my friend.
I don't know what it is about my phone, but it consistently overheats. It doesn't like doing this for an hour.
Okay, no, that's all good. That's all we have. Kim, the other, I think, players who, middle order batsmen who missed out on this tour were the Cobras guys, obviously Yanaman Malan, or Peter Malan specifically, and Zubair Hamza. I always have this theory that because the Cobras didn't play at home for most of the first half of the season, that kind of was the reason why they couldn't put up the runs that they were putting up, even though the Cobras as a team hasn't been playing great cricket.
Yeah, I think Shane Paul, Zubair Hamza got dropped from the test side at the beginning of last year and has really had a torrid season so far, I'm afraid, for the Cobras, really struggling to get runs. Peter Malan did make a 4-day 100, but it was almost like a week too late because I think the selectors had already decided then to go with Avia.
Mm-hmm. We have a change in bowling, Chris?
Yeah, we've got Naman Ali in. He's came into Aiden Markram. He's bowling left-arm orthodox, for those who don't know. He's coming around the wicket, I guess, to the right-handed Markram, and the first delivery is a dot. Naman Ali does this thing where he comes in between the umpire and the wickets as part of his run-up. As the second delivery is just defended into the offside for no run again.
Through and around, I think they used to call it. When you tell the umpire before your first ball what you're doing, you say, "I'll be coming through and around."
As he does so for the third time today, and this one, Markram just gets on the back foot. It's a lovely drive, but it doesn't make it further than the man on the ring. And it's another dot delivery. I remember a couple of guys doing that in prep school, but I think that was mostly them just showing off that they knew they were allowed to, rather than getting any sort of actual benefit from it.
Oh, that is amazing.
The fourth delivery from Ali is it's a good delivery, but equally well defended by Aiden Markram as it goes through to the offside again for no run.
I love how Pakistan gave him his debut at age 34. That is just amazing. That is beautiful, because in a world where everyone's ageist, it's still very lovely to see guys getting a cap or two at age 34.
Yeah, another good delivery from him, this fifth one. It keeps quite low. Markram just defended to the man at a short mid-on, and there's no run. Although, yeah, debuting at 34, if you're a spin bowler, you could still have another 4 or 5 years in the setup. We see Gurwan Pereira at the moment, 38 years old, doing well enough for Sri Lanka. The final delivery from Ali, very similar to the previous two, and Markram just defended back to him for no run. A maiden.
Good forward press in that last one from Markram. And yeah, I just hope he just needs to be watchful of where the ball goes, and yeah, it's not going to be easy, but he's got the talent to do it. It's just obviously getting him up to speed.
I'm not being a left left-arm spinner myself, but I think the advantage of going through and around is to do with angles and getting a better sort of pivot in the delivery stride. But if there are any left-arm spinners on Twitter listening in, maybe they can tweet us for the exact reason why bowlers do that.
Hassan Ali in again. This one, Elgar gets out on the front foot. The ball doesn't do that much, but Elgar perhaps expected it to, as he was nowhere near it in the end, and it goes straight through to Rizwan for no run.
So Dave has tweeted us his numbers. He says Josh Richards' numbers. He has a first-class average of 46, worth keeping in mind for when Dean retires. So that's probably going to be like
I always
5.
have to mention it. I think Joshua Richards is another Saints boy. There's just
we know. You guys produce a factory.
I somehow missed out. I got as far as UCT second 11. This ball from Hassan Ali, just defended by Dean.
Leah saying, well, it's time to start being productive, I fear. Making some quince chips in the automatic dryer, and there's kale to prepare for lunch. That's sounding lovely. Thanks for keeping me company during that. Thank you for joining us, Leah.
And well done on finally finding kale. Was it the fourth shop, the fifth shop? How many shops did you have to try before you found the kale? As this delivery from Hassan Ali, Dean Elgar just defends into the offside. There's a misfield, although the fielder did his best. And it looks like they're running for just about 1 million runs as it's slowly dribbled away to the boundary. In the end, they get 3. Yeah, Linux Lowe was talking yesterday about having to go to 3 stores to find kale, didn't find any, and I was going to go on a further hunt. I think if the first store I went to didn't have kale, I'd just settle for some other leafy green. I've never been that obsessed with one vegetable.
I'm with you, Chris, definitely. Not worth the hassle.
As Hassan Ali comes this time into Aiden Markram, who just gets the back foot, defends it to the man at point, who has fouled Alam, the Centurion, and there's no run. South Africa 29 for no loss. I guess it depends on what. Yeah, we'll find out what Linux Lowe is doing with the kale as well. Because if it's just for a salad, then I understand it even less.
Anis Mohammed says second bites of the cherry have been done before, though Callis and Elgar started batting at 6 or 7 in the SA team. Stian van Zyl started at 6, then decided to try opening while playing in India. Ruined him mentally for international cricket.
As the penultimate delivery from Hassan Ali hits the pads of Aiden Markram, there is an appeal, but I think we saw it firsthand is probably going down leg, and the Pakistani fielders have decided the same thing. They don't go for the review. As we see the replay now, lovely seam position, but yeah, definitely going well down leg. Final delivery from Hassan Ali is just a wideish short one that dribbles past Aiden Markram without too much of a threat, and there's no run. So after 10 overs, South Africa 29 for no loss. Markram's on 12, Elgar's on 15.
Just on Josh Richards again, David gave us his overall first-class figures. In franchise cricket, he's played 9 matches for the Lions and has scored 505 runs at an average of 36.07, 100 and 2 50s. And that 100 actually came this season, 136, when the Lions chased down well over 300 on the last day, and Richards and Dominic Hendricks both scored centuries in quite a remarkable batting effort there. So Richards
was it the match where Vian Mulder scored the 100? Late in December.
I think in the first
innings. Yeah, yes. I remember that.
Hassan Ali continues into Dean Elgar, who just defends it into the onside for no run.
Against the Knights, I think, so it's a decent attack as well.
That Knights team is so underrated. It's ridiculous. They really have a good squad, a good side there.
Hassan Ali again his left arm opens the left-handed Algar. This one's defended to the point region as the fielder comes round, and they go through for a single. So finally, after 8 deliveries rather, Ali concedes his first runs.
So we have Angelic Scooters tweeted to Dave when he was talking about Kagiso. And he says, it's not a bad little group at 44 tests for 200 wickets. Betsa, Garner, Hadley, Jadeja, and now Rabada.
Yeah, great list. Naman Ali is now into Markram, so he's through and around again. And this one's just defended for no run. Thick inside edge onto the pad of Aiden Markram.
Yeah, I think it's obvious from all the different stats that we've been given about Kagiso Rabada that he is indisputably one of the best fast bowlers to have played the game.
Yes.
This one's more flighted from Ali, and Markram really capitalizes on it. Hits it straight to the field out of Ali, but it goes through him. And it runs away to the offside boundary for 4. South Africa move on to 34, Markram on to 16.
Yeah, Markram,
I think that's the first. Is there a truck somewhere in your house in Paul?
That is me, yes. That is the washing machine.
Someone in a forklift.
The Proteas were parking the bus.
If only they were parking the bus.
Ali, and again, into the wickets of Markram, who overbalances slightly, but still defends it up the crease for no run. The previous delivery was just about the only flighted one we've seen from Ali. He's bowling a lot of quicker, almost 90 kilometers an hour deliveries at this time. So as soon as he put some flight on it, Markram was quick to capitalize.
Anis Mohammed says, did you guys mention, what is it? Did you guys mention Koshile as someone who missed out on selection?
I don't think he came up.
He hasn't had a great season and a half, so it hasn't warranted selection, I think. He just needs to get his numbers up.
He'd be competing for the wicketkeeper role where Varane is looking pretty strong. It's our second option behind de Kock.
Look, it's been nice to see Koshile is starting to make some runs again this season. Batted really well yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Beat the Cobras. So, you know, another guy he's only 21, so he's got a very bright future ahead of him, doesn't he, Koshile?
Yeah. Dave, answering your question, Ken, about the through and around. Going through and around is indeed about angles. Also making use of the natural drift that is afforded to you by coming around, the drift you would get naturally with the older ball.
Hassan Ali continues to Alga this one straight, slightly down leg. Alga plays it off his pad, but it doesn't make it further than the fielder. No run.
Thanks for that, David. Nice to know from the expert coaches.
And also Dave.
Yes, I love it. I love his office. I love where his office is. It's just ridiculous. I would love to work there every day.
Very lucky man.
Yeah.
Although maybe it gets a bit lonely in winter.
Hassan Ali in again to Alga. This one, Alga again doesn't seem to quite pick up the line of it, misses it by enough that it doesn't get the edge, and it goes to the keeper for no run. He's on 16.
That one dying as it went past the bat there as well. Just this inconsistent bounce outside the left-hander's off stump is something that Dean has to deal with. Seemingly looks like it hit a crack there. So there's like a cracked line that goes for like a meter or so, just like on a good length. On the
Ali in again, right arm around to left-hander Olga. He leaves it alone and it goes through to Rizwan, who also seems to struggle with the bounce of it.
Mm-hmm. And then yes says,
yes, he's in the throat in the end. Just getting a massage from Imran Butt. They're all also having a laugh at him, it looks like.
Leah saying, here in northern Germany, kale is probably the most important leafy green during winter, commonly served in stews and with sausages. And then Antonio Gambino says, I'm here for the Alga double century. He better not mess it up this time. If Alga gets out before 200, I blame you, Antonio. I know where you live. I will come and find you.
The next
I like
delivery is
the-
just defended into the offside, no run.
I like the way Elgar seems to be making a concerted effort to play inside the line of deliveries outside off stump. So, yeah, he's been beaten once or twice there, but I think it's a fair distance away from the edge.
Yeah.
We saw off color the previous delivery from Hassan Ali as he now bowls his fifth delivery of this over. It's a bouncer that doesn't threaten Elgar at all, straight over his head through to Rizwan for no run.
Hassan Ali bowling his sixth over now, so I figure fairly soon we're going to see a change from that end, and perhaps the leggy, Yasser Shah.
Yeah, spin from both ends might be a bit of a treat as a viewing spectacle. I don't know how confident it'll make me as a South African supporter, though. The final delivery from Hassan Ali over another slightly short one, but this time Elgar's able to just get on the back foot, pull it as it goes through to the leg side boundary, where it's fielded by Afridi, and they should have got through for two there in the end. In fact, they have.
The only problem I have with Yasir Shah is I think he's one of my favorite bowlers currently in the world, and so whenever he bowls, I get excited. The only issue is bowling against South Africa, so I might need to find a corner and.
Yeah, I think you could be quite nervous watching.
As a budding leg spinner myself, with our last man stands team, I just love the way he bowls. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Hassan Ali in again, attacking Elgar's stumps. He just plays it to the man at point, and there's no run there. It's just, maybe this is controversial, but it's a shame that Syed Ajmal was sort of pushed out of the game, and we're never going to see a bowling attack with Yasir Shah at one end and Syed Ajmal at the other.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that would be
painful. Lunch.
It's not like Nauman Ali isn't a handful as well. And yes, we've made it to lunch. First hour, 37 without loss. That is a good start for South Africa. Thank you very much, Ken and Chris. Final words. What are you expecting for the rest of the day, Ken and Chris?
Well, it's been the sort of start South Africa needed, not to lose a wicket before lunch. Hasn't been too tough out there, just the inconsistent bounce causing a few headaches. But yeah, Yasser Shah, I think after lunch, that's going to be the litmus test for this innings.
Yes, no, true. Chris, your words?
Yeah, I guess what I'm expecting and what I'm hoping for might be two different things. I don't entirely know what to expect for the rest of the day. Because, yeah, the first innings, we saw some threatening bowling, but mostly poor batting, and I don't know exactly how South Africa is going to approach the rest of the day. But hopefully we continue the way we have. That's a good first session for us with the bat. No wickets.
Yeah, okay. So I think you could say probably on this even session, maybe Pakistan shading it, but South Africa really fought back in that last hour, not losing wickets, 37 without loss. And yeah, Aiden Markram 16 of 41, Dean Alga 18 of 35 balls. Pakistan haven't gotten any wickets, and they've only used three bowlers. That is Shaheen Shah Afridi, Nauman Ali, as well as Hassan Ali. And so we will be back in 40 minutes' time with coverage on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. But for our 1WSR.com listeners, our audio listeners, we will be playing, I think, the women's ODI against Pakistan that happened in 2018, when they were last here in South Africa, and we were the official broadcaster. So do enjoy that. We'll see you in 40 minutes' time. Thank you very much, Ken and Chris. Really, really appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Bo.
In the broadcast.